Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here. And yes, you're on slightly shaky cam again because, well, the thing that we're going to be looking at today is a little bit big, a bit too big to do in the old mini studio down there. So instead, we're going to be going through to my living room, the land of dreams, as I call it. I don't know why I'm bigging this up. You've probably seen what it is in the thumbnail. So let's go and have a look at it, shall we? There's something stuck to my foot. It's slightly underexposed, but yes, this is something in Japanese. I can't quite remember exactly what it is. I'll put it up on the screen because, well, it does. It's an arcade stand for the Switch, obviously, and most importantly, player 1, player 2. Yes, it is 2-player. You put a Switch in each side, so you do need 2 switches to do it. And it comes with electric. No, it means you can charge your Switch as you're playing, which is quite useful. So yes, we're going to be looking at this. Do you want an unboxing? Tough, I've already looked at it. There. Let's get this out of the way. You must have just been on a fun and mystical tour. And there it is in all its glory. And so yeah, I mean, essentially it is a large plastic shell for your Nintendo Switch. Switches, plural. What's the plural for Switch? If it was switches, it would be spelled like this. Because it's a proper noun. Proper nouns don't have affixes. Before I actually give this video some stability and, you know, put it on a tripod and stuff like that, let's have a little brief look. So obviously, you know, your Joy-Con go in there. It's the same on both sides, so it really doesn't matter. This thing up here opens up. If it ever opens up. Oh, God, I seem to remember this. Oh, I got it. So that swings open like that. You just slide your Switch in here. It does look like there's room for Joy-Con on the sides here, but I guarantee you, there is not. I found out the hard way. This bit here is nice and lined, so it's nice and cushioned against your Switch, so it's not going to get all horrible and, you know, sort of scratched and stuff like that. If I can focus that again. For some reason, the focus is all the way down here, and it's very annoying, but I can't be bothered to stop the video. And also, it's a big thing. In fact, they advertised it on the back of the box. Where is it? Here we go. So this is all the instructions and stuff like that, and down here, as you can see, if I can get it in focus, look. And I've translated that and it says it's an accessory holder. Which is this. It is literally just a small, I don't know, a small little cup. I don't know what you're supposed to put in here. And it really annoys me because it just sort of sits in there and it advertises that as a feature. What is it for? Is it for, you saw, I must admit, I thought it was maybe for like coins if you like, slip them in there, but there's no coin slot, so I don't know. And so here it is in all its stable and in focus glory, or at least hopefully. Let's try and get that a little bit more center and potentially out of focus. Marvelous. Anyway, yes, so I'm going to show you how this thing works, even though it's probably fairly obvious, but you know what? We're looking at it, so we might as well. We might as well. So anyway, got my Nintendo Switch here. Now, as I said before, do not put it in with the Joy-Con. It just does not work. Believe you me. So you slide the Joy-Con off, which I'm doing off camera because you've seen that 1,000 times before, and it's easier for me to do it. So you just slip that in there. Dust particles and all, they are optional though. They don't have to be dusty when you put them in. And you just close this thing up, and it should just, oh, there we go. Snap in place like that. But Alex, how do you then turn it on? Well, with the Switch, obviously, you can just use the home button to turn it on. And of course, you put your Joy-Con in here. Now, these are interesting because they literally just sit in there and they can actually sort of rock back and forth. Can you see that? Yes, quite clearly. So they rock back and forth a little bit, but you're going to be playing like this, so it's not a big issue, to be honest. Oh, I'm going to fix the exposure because that is just a nuisance. Don't say you never get professionalism when it comes to Nintendo Life videos, especially ones that are as loose as this. But anyway, so we're just going to turn it on, and of course we can do that just by pressing the home button. And there we go, it comes up, and we just need to press A. Obviously this is set to be the wrong way, it's set to be that side of the controller rather than... In fact, let me just quickly turn the brightness down so you can see that a little better on the screen. That's a bit better, isn't it? It looks crap to my eyes, but it looks pretty good there. Oh, there's Paladins. So I'm just going to set the controllers up properly because obviously the way they are set up at the moment, they will just try and connect as a pair of Joy-Con, which is not what we want. And annoyingly, in fact, no, you don't actually need to do that, do you? Yes, you do. You actually need to lift them out to press the SL and SR buttons so that it recognizes it as a single controller and not as some sort of hybrid Joy-Con pair thing that it would expect. Then we press that when we're done. And it's as simple as that. It is a bit of a shame that you have to take them out to set them up, but you know what? It's fine. It's generally okay. So now let's load up a game that would be vaguely relevant. This is what happens when you don't prepare. Well, I'll tell you what, whilst we're downloading some games that I admittedly thought that I already had on here, let's load up something so that you can see it in action at the very least for a little bit before we actually play a game that this is more designed for, shall we say. And there we go, Sega. You know what, I might turn that down because that's a bit loud. And we don't... Actually, you know, it should be fine. It won't come up much on the microphone anyway. And it'll give some nice context. Yes, Sonic Mania! Waha! Come on. So let's have a go at Sonic Mania. This is obviously plus with the Encore DLC because I'm a sucker for a little bit of Mighty the Armadillo and the other one. So let's just play Mania Mode, just simple. Why not? Let's play as Mighty. It's different, isn't it? Now, obviously, this is going to be a very awkward angle for me right now, but you essentially use it much more like, well, you know, an arcade system. That's kind of what the whole point of it is. And yeah, it works, you know. I don't know, you know, it works as well as you'd expect. It generally not going to be better. Get off there. Generally not going to be as good with games that require precision, like Sonic Mania. But, you know, sort of just, and also fewer buttons the better, I would say, personally. I really do hope you can hear me over all the bleeps and bloops. But yeah, so you just use it like that, and obviously you can have a second player there doing exactly the same thing with, say, Tails or something. But again, Sonic Mania really isn't the best thing to show you. It's a bit retro, and it's simple enough to be able to be controlled relatively easily with something in this fashion. I believe you can actually get little sticks that sort of attach onto the control sticks of the Joy-Con and extend them up so they're more sort of up here. So that would be really useful for this. But I don't have that, if that wasn't bleeding obvious. So yes, Sonic Mania. This is a fine way to play the game, to be honest. This isn't really the intended purpose, but you know what? For the first thing, it'll do. Oh, Metal Slug 3 is nearly finished downloading, so we're definitely going to look at that because not, you know, to have this and not play a Neo Geo game just seems like a total farce. It doesn't make any sense. Right, I'm going to do it like this, so hopefully you can see a little bit more of the whole system. I know you might not be able to see the screen that well, but the whole point is we're looking at this thing and how it works. So if you want to see Metal Slug 3, look up one of the billions of YouTube videos online. So let's go in the English mode so I can see what's going on. I've got to press minus. Which one's start? It doesn't. Oh, I'm playing. Oh, that was a cutscene. I did wonder why nothing seemed to be working except for the standard pause button. So, yes, I have played Metal Slug 3 before. Am I any good at it? Absolutely not. But this actually works really well with this because, well, unsurprisingly, these were designed with these kind of games in mind. So you just play through. I presume I go through here, yeah? Right. Now it's just a case of playing the old Metal Slug, a lovely little game, though I say so myself. I say that like I had something to do with it. So you can see the appeal of sort of playing this like an arcade, and ideally, there we go, not in a situation where you're having to lean around a camera to do it and potentially moving the thing constantly. Because, yeah, it's not... There we go. You get the idea. Let's hop out of that for a moment there. And yeah, so that's the thing. I was going to have a look at Street Fighter, but is that even downloading? It says it's paused. You're not telling me Neo Geo needs an internet connection? Oh, maybe for the thing. Still reckons it's going to take 30 minutes, so yeah, now it's gone up to 40. Let's not do that. But just in case you'd forgotten, this is not the only thing this can do. Obviously, the whole point of this thing, really, I mean, you can just use it like this, solo, you know, that's fine, or even with just one friend, but you can have 4 people using 2 Nintendo Switches. Ooh, so you just do the same thing. You prise that open. You get your second Nintendo Switch that you just happen to have lying around. I mean, everyone has that, don't they? Isn't that pretty standard? And you do the same thing. Where have I put the Joy-Con? I've put them over here like an idiot. Right, so you just, again, you just slip them in there. And then you've got the potential to have that kind of back-to-back thing that I'm showing really badly. You now have the potential to do that back-to-back thing that they used to do in the arcades that I'm now showing vaguely competently. And I suppose if you had 3 friends and you know, had 2 switches between you at least, you could have rather a lot of fun with this. Now, my only major concern with this thing, I mean, you know, sort of functionally as a product, it's fine. I mean, it is kind of annoying that you can't press down on the analog buttons here, sorry, the shoulder buttons, not the analog buttons, that's completely wrong. And you can't do these either. Now, these don't really come up when you're using a Joy-Con like that, but these often do, so you can't really play Mario Kart or something like that with this, which is a bit of a shame, but, you know, sort of, I think that's not the market they're going for. They're going for the more sort of Damien McFerrin, you know, play old games until they're dead type thing. Damien McFerrin is my colleague, if you don't know. But yes, so, you know, it's appealing to a certain market. It has, you know, certain restrictions, but at the same time, I think it's really good fun. The only thing is, this thing is not cheap. And it's not cheap. I'm gonna have to look up how much it is, but it's not cheap. This little thing will set you back about £57, or if you happen to live across the pond and you use something called dollars, it will cost you a whopping $75. And I believe that's even before you've had it even posted to you, and postage will obviously cost a fair bit more as well. So there's that. It is a very specialized thing, and it is not the cheapest, but if this is your kind of thing, you probably already know it just from looking at it. So whether you want it or not, you probably already know. Me personally, I think it's a nice little thing. It's a good sort of novelty, but I don't play that many of the sort of the Neo Geo style games, you know, the old retro arcade style games, to make it, you know, sort of properly worthwhile for me. But as I say, if you think it is for you, then it is for you. I think if you could get something else so that the Joy-Con had like proper long analog sticks on them, not that you can see them because that's totally in shadow, let's get something with a little bit more contrast. So if you could have it so that the Joy-Con were a little bit taller and more like traditional arcade sticks, so they're sort of up here, then I think that would give it definitely more of an edge, and I believe those exist, but I will put it on the screen if they don't, because it's possible I dreamt it. But there you have it. That is the face-to-face arcade stand for the Nintendo Switch by Columbus Circle, who are my favorite brand. I'm guessing maybe a bigger brand in Japan, but I haven't ever heard of them personally. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, definitely very unique, but as a result, very niche, I would say. So if you're looking at it and you think this is kind of a great thing, then there'll be a link to purchase in the description. So make sure you check that out. Is it an affiliate link? I don't know, but just assume it is. So if you click on it, you might support the channel, but you might not. Just one last thing, I just realized I haven't actually mentioned where the power goes. Obviously it goes in there, cable comes out there. Good stuff, it just comes out under here at the base. Cool. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you slip that subscribe button into 2 neat little things down here and not use the shoulder buttons. And be sure to check out nintendolife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye. But anyway, that is the face-to-face arcade stand by... I don't know. If I go down here, can you see me? Maybe you can. I don't know. Hello.